I was about to say one of these days I'm going to come in not emotional. But as I see you all logging in and tapping in and our energies connecting, I get caught up in that because I feel you. I see you wanting better and wanting more. And there's so much energy that is running through me right now. And all I know is I have to show up. There are messages that are going to come through on this course that are not just breathing related. This course is layered with implants of a different kind, seeds of a different kind, programs of a different kind. If we are stuck in a certain way of being, we need to start having ways of different energy and higher frequencies coming into our bodies so we can start to feel that. We can start to work with that because it's going to be uncomfortable. It's a completely different dimension as far as energies that we're dealing with. And so that's why this course was actually changed last night. I had to get Kim to go and change the curriculum and relaunch it because that's how in tune your angels and your guides are right now, to make sure you get the exact messages that you need right now, because you're the most aligned. You're the best we have to work with. Whoever is able to listen to this is of such a high frequency. That's why we trigger people. It's supposed to. It's like nails on a chalkboard. It's like that high pitch to a glass. Doesn't mean that high pitch is wrong. It's just to that lower, denser frequency, it's uncomfortable. And so, like I mentioned, this course is so jam-packed. I was channeling 10 minutes before this. Do this, adding notes constantly. And this course was actually brought in almost 2 years ago, but it needed some serious upgrades. I'll admit that. As I went through my old language, my old knowing, I had to change some vocabulary, let me tell you. Words that specifically started with the word con. Ugh. This is a whole other language, loved ones. We talk about equity having its own language. The other side of 70% has an even more complicated one that the evil ones didn't want us to know and hid it even more than equity. Why wouldn't they? If they knew you accessing the 70% was better than the 30%, the paperwork, why would they not hide this from us? And they did. And that's why we need, if we want better, we need to be able to make room, first of all, which is why we're giving you those tools, to be able to have new downloads come in. And so that's why we're going to teach you about the phenomenon of something called psychic breathing. That's going to trigger some of you. Sure did me. This is the word psychic. It's works of the devil. That's where I came from. We're going to work you through that today, loved ones. You're going to learn how you need to take your breath to a whole other level. If we're talking about going to another level, being in another world, another dimension, there's different everything there, including air. So we have to be able to learn how to use that new air in this new world. We're going to teach you rhythmic and cleansing breathing techniques. We have handouts for you today, multiple. Our Queen Kim has been all over this today, and she's going to be putting this on all of our platforms so you can print them off. You now have language, loved ones, a vocabulary, meditations and breathing techniques that you can use now to help release pain, stress, anxiety, depending on what you need at that moment. More tools for your toolbox. And then you're going to learn something called the complete breath. Oof, my team came through big on this one. They're adamant. It'd be a 9-count breath in total. Adamant. You're going to learn why. You're going to learn ancient breathing techniques that allows your body to be able to heal itself in ways you didn't even know was possible. Returning you to natural ways of being. And then we're going to take you through a guided meditation that's already been recorded so that you can just feel what it's like to do a mindful psychic breath. I know that's a little scary. Once we take you through psychic, it won't be though, I promise. Now, why are we teaching this? Why are we teaching breathing techniques? Here's why, loved ones. My galactic team has been coming to me and giving me very strong messages of the spiritual surgeries that many of you need to have. I'm like, are you sure they're ready for this? Like, I learned that like 10 years into all of this. And they said, yes. Because many of you, you're hitting ceilings where it's uncomfortable, it's physically painful. And I had the pleasure of writing a chapter in a book recently where I talked about this in my journey. Oh, well, it was actually 2 weeks before I'd healed from it when I met Darren, interestingly enough. And I was going through a purge like I have never experienced or felt before, a physical one. And I'll show pictures one day. And during this process, the only source of peace that I ever had was when I went into my meditations. And I would do breathing techniques and I would work for the world. I'd bring in light, I'd bring in colors, I'd exit horrible, awful energy. And as I did this, a very large being came, because I had a Reiki bed. I did Reiki, so I had a healing bed, and I would regularly, if not daily, go on this bed, the heating blanket, music, and I did my work. And when this very large being showed up, who had a presence, let me tell you, you knew when he walked in the room. And just stay with me on this. I know this is new for some of you. This is the next level. This is what they did want you to know. They're not scary. Let me be the voice of them, because I've met them. I know them. I'm channeling them. And when this being came, he was working on this part of my body, my solar, my sacral mostly. He would not speak to me. I tried to engage multiple times, trust me. He was there to work. And finally, I'm like, you know what? Just need to kind of know who you are. What's going on here? I could see him removing things from me and passing them to beings. And we talk about finding language. I'm gonna do my best to find language for what this experience was like for me. Because when I talk about imprinting, he imprinted me with just a knowing. That's what spirit does. That's why finding the words, that's why when Darren talks equity, you go, that makes sense. Yes, I know that to be true. And then go, if we said repeat it, you'd go, it's difficult to find the words. So it's the same thing when we're trying to find vocabulary for connections to higher frequencies and dimensions that have been hidden from us, and the information's been taken away. So Spirit's taking us down these paths and sending people like me back to kind of go, okay, here's the vocabulary for that. Here's how I can best explain what happened to me. He imprinted with me with the fact that he's a somebody on the other side, first of all, and he was sent to me to remove the most ingrained technology within my being. I had to have it removed to go to the next level. Think about this, loved ones, because we got some big teachings coming down the pipeline about this. And so I would have, and I, when I say I had beings, I don't see them like us. I just know their presence. I know they're there. I trust their frequency though. I trust their energy. So I opened up fully. And as I did, this being didn't speak to me often, but when he did, he'd look at me, he goes, breathe. And I knew what he meant. It was the complete breath that you're going to learn tonight. And I would do this breath because he would have to work on me sometimes 4, 5, 6 times on one implant in me. These are implants that have been put in you, merged into your organs, your being, to disrupt you by design, by the evilness. Come on. This is what we're up against. We have to be open to these knowings, to these truths, so we can now move forward with that information. And I didn't realize the importance of these surgeries. I remember when I was doing this complete breath, he kept going bigger, more like, and I was breathing the prana, and I was working with this being, working with him. And I could feel things moving in me, and it came out, and I was like, I can breathe. Turn around and walk away. And Spirit would come in and start infusing me with light. Archangel Raphael, who we've taught you to work with. These are omnipotent beings that are not just fairy tales, loved ones. They are stepping forward because they want their presence known. They want their energy known. They're here to work with you. And if you're at a level, if you're here, or you're even able to hear this message, you're doing something right. You're on a vibration where you have done enough work where you can align to your next upgrade. And so with that, we're going to go through some things today. We're going to talk about that, even though this is a breathing course, we're going to use this as an opportunity to bring in some messages from Spirit, to tell you what we are seeing, what you need to know, these upgrades and spiritual tools you got to have in your toolbox. Such as learning to become present. Here's something we've taught you already. First of all, engage the power of your breath, how to open your crown, how to feed from source and not dysfunctionally from others, how to do clearing and charging meditations to cut unhealthy cords and energy from your body. We've developed platforms so that you can learn how to manage your words and your mind to increase your 5D knowledge. And now this, the power of your breath, part 2. So you can tap into psychic abilities, and start getting the upgrades, the defrags, the downloads that you need, your body needs. Because here's the reality, loved ones. You have dark energy, you have metals, you have poisons, you have spells, programmings, and cords. Holy shit. You don't think there's some kind of a cleansing process necessary to get to the light, being a dirty, filthy thing? Never mind dead, as we know ourselves to be. Like, huh. So, Spirit stepping forward. And I know some of this information might be new. But the truth is, we're infected. We are highly contaminated with dark alien technology and implants that have been strategically implanted in you to pollute, morph, and disrupt your natural state of being on all levels. It's why our healing is so multi-layered, multi-dimensional, where we thought we dealt with it, and here it is. And again. We've been coated with black magic, black poison that was meant to keep you on a spiritual leash, loved ones, in a cage, keep you tethered, like in a boat, around and around. Have you been feeling that, your life? It's the same shit, just a different pile. Keeping us stuck, confused, and sludge. Spirit channeled something called amalgamated to the game. I don't even know that word. I'm like, amalgamated to the game. They're like, look it up. So I went and looked it up. Amalgamating, meaning to combine or unite to form one organization or structure to merge into a single body. We've been merged, mutated into 3D. And here's the thing. Let's spin equity into this. Didn't we merge and unite our bodies, minds, and souls to the legal system, to Caesar, when we agreed to be their Frankenstein, their fictional character? We crawled right into bed with Satan when we registered for our birth certificates. And then we snuggled up next to him, fornicated with him when we pledged our sin to him by getting a sin number. I know, right? I know. And since then, we have been morphed, we've been mutated, we have been programmed into being their legal monsters. That's reality. So there's that. Oh, but we're not done. Then the evil, Satan, used implants and technology and programming, cords and umbilical cords to attach you to the game. I was talking to Darren about this. He lit right up. He says, loved ones, you have cords to each one of your senses by design. So you have at least 9 major cords you're dealing with. And then they developed layers of those cords. Cords, 2 cords. And they use things, he said, such as social media, news, movies, chaos, to plug and jam and confuse you, loved ones, to attach their shitty cords to you. And we let them. And every time, hang tight, this one's, you're going to feel. every time you used your SIN number to apply, to get, or to register for anything, a cord was engaged to the matrix. And you have at least 9, otherwise it's incomplete. 9 being the number of completion. Now, I keep talking about this matrix. Why? Because Spirit was giving me this vision over and over and over. Show the loved ones this. So we are going to, and when we talk about cords and layers of cords, and we talk about registering within the matrix, feel this little clip we are about to show you, please. Loved ones, Spirit said, this is what you spiritually look like. Feel that. Did you notice Neil? He came out, he couldn't catch his breath. Why? Because he had this. I just even watched that and I silently puke every time. That's why I had to shut my camera off. I can feel that coming out from the lowest premises of him. Did you notice then, once it came out, he couldn't even catch his breath. It was new air. He was using muscles he's never used before. And the first thing he had to do upon his awakening is he had to stretch. Did you see that? He had to push the boundaries of what he knew, of what was confining him. Ooh, did you hear that pop? Both elbows. Yeah, push through, pop through. And then the second thing he had to do, that wasn't enough. Okay, so bursts out of his bubble. Oh, what's in my throat? So now he's got to get this all out. And Spirit said, you have been attached and under their spell, their delusion for so long. And they wanted us to show, or they wanted us to see how we spiritually are. We're fragile. Just like Neo, malnourished. Can barely even support ourselves. Can't even take a breath. A basic, fundamental basic. He was exercising, again, muscles he'd never even used. And Spirit said, a restructuring of multiple ongoing realignments and programming needs to happen from that place. And so now we're going to show you another clip. And we want you, loved ones, to notice the flush and the purge that now takes place. Now, we talk about equity eyes. Look through this now with your new enlightened eyes, your spiritual eyes. Because Spirit said that you have that coming too. They said that this purge is all about the multi-layered flushes that must take place to cleanse and restore you back to your natural state of being. I'm going to say that again. As you watch this video, know that Spirit is saying, you have this coming too. This purge to get you out of your current world into your new world. This purge What Neo experiences is all part of the multi-layered flushes that must take place to cleanse and restore you back to your natural state of being. And Spirit wants you to now look at this clip and notice Neo's state of being, first of all. His point, his ongoing reactions and his emotions as he moves through all these layers of awakening and purging, as he has to disconnect over and over from his physical 3D, from his matrix, from his pod, from his old world into his new, into his real. And so notice everything, feel this, go in with intentions of seeing this from a higher vantage point. Hey, so loved ones, there are multiple messages here, and in case you missed them, here are the main points that Spirit wants to make sure you get. You have many layered 3D umbilical cords attached to you that is designed to keep you connected to the game, they said. The major spinal cord one, the one in the back of the head, that represents when you identified as the birth certificate, the dead thing. That's when you entered and engaged in the game. Your pod was developed at that point. And Neil pulling the cord from his throat. Imagine for a moment where he's like, you know what? I'm just going to keep this one here. Just flush me, but keep this one here. I don't know. I'm kind of attached to it. It's been here a long time. Imagine doing the flush with that attached to him. Oh, it's going to be a little rough. It's going to rip you apart, right? And here's the other message Spirit said. Did you notice the tunnel that Neo was being flushed down? They said, first of all, these are the shadows that you have to face. Just know when you get flushed, there will be dark times. However, did you notice, and if you have to go back, loved ones, watch it one more time. Did you notice that in every single shot, every single scene, there were always flashes, always pockets of light? Spirit said, we are that light. And we will guide you in these times. They said, we will always bring light for your darkness. And then when Neo did the big last part the plunge, the official flush, when he fell into his new world. Spirit said, this is the leap of faith that you all need to take to enter the real world. They said everyone must take it, no exceptions. And here's the thing, Neo experienced that jump, that fall several times. He had to take the red pill a couple times, according to the new and most released matrix. He got sucked back in. He was attached again. Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade. He had to trust that the path was going to be there, even though he couldn't see it. That's the whole point. You're not supposed to see it. That's your test. And Spirit said, this is all to prepare and build your wings, because your bodies are weak and fragile, they said. You cannot support yourself in this new world yet, they said. Think about it. We're dense, we're dirty, we're going into 100% crystalline world. We're going to need some skills. And that's why Spirit said, we've come here to help. And that's represented by the claw coming down and drawing Neo to the light. The claw, because again, when you take that jump, he was not able to support himself, but he took the jump anyways. He didn't even know that he couldn't support himself, and he took it. That's courage. That's a leap of faith. And Spirit will always come in last minute. I can't even tell you how many times we've learned this message over and over. I'll say it again, last minute. When you were about to tap, when you're about to give up, go look at that scene again. Ask Neo, did he think he was going to die? Mm-hmm. Yep, sure did. And last minute. And did you notice his body language too? It's very much not, I'm going to bite, what have you done? He was very much at peace, very much in a state of surrender. Look at how many messages were in a very short period of time. And that's why they say this book is not, or this movie is not a Hollywood typical movie. It's a documentary. And if you've seen the latest Matrix, you're going to notice there's a scene where Neo is receiving some aftercare surgeries to remove the Matrix remainders, the remnants. And Spirit said, go look up remnants. Guess what remnants means? A surviving trace. So it's important to release these plugs, these hookups that are active and live. These surgeries are crucial, loved ones. They're necessary to restore and repair your spiritual muscles, to restore you back to your natural state of being. Neo didn't come out all Superman. He was at his worst. And if we don't remove these remnants, these surviving traces of our old world, things that access us, then we'll become vulnerable to future hookups, future connections, future cords to this old world. And that's why Spirit said, your purge and these surgeries, they're all part of the layered flushings and healings that must take place to rebuild and restore you back to your natural state of being. That was a big message over and over. Natural state of being. Natural, not forced. Natural. to get back to natural. Natural's not zero, loved ones. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I can't even get over the messages that Spirit's been trying to bring through about this whole 0.0 love. They want us to take it and remove it completely. Because here's the thing. When we talk about 0 point or zero love, they showed me my cup. And they said, even if it's dirty, wouldn't you want to at least come in with the love that you have in your cup? Why would you want to go back to 0? There's no such thing as 0, they actually said. You know why? Because 0 is the only moment you experience 0 is when you're moving from this meat suit back home. And it lasts that long. That's 0. 0 is also when you decided to have amnesia. I'm sorry, I'd rather keep the lessons I've learned of love and what I have in my cup about love. Why the fuck would I want to go back to 0? And that's why they've been just like on me about this. So again, they kind of go twisted healings. We're saying 0, like nothing, and then love in the same word. And they went, whew, cancels. This is how they fucked with us. They put programs in us. And we've been in an energy sucking capsule. You are right now. You're hooked up to a 3D matrix, loved ones. That's been brilliantly designed just for you, to keep you contained, to keep you tethered on a leash according to what you need to feed on. Oh, dirty feedings is what they just said. They hooked us up to dirty feedings. Ceilings. These tethers, they show me a dome. And we're free to play within the dome. They were like, look at me fly. Poof. Down. Oh, there's a ceiling. They give you this illusion of freedom. But you're in a cage. And one you designed according to what you came here to learn. And then they took that and used it against you. Don't you worry. Their karma's coming for them. But now you know better. You're getting downloads and knowings now. And when we look at Neo's personal umbilical cords, here's the thing. They actually showed me that each pod, each cord, it's different for each of us. And the input and output coming out of our pod depends on what we're attached and hooked up to, what you believe. Some pods are pumping out fear. Eva loves those ones. Those are big feeding sources for them. They don't like our pods. Our pods sour their programming. Good. Let's crank it up, loved ones. So I get it. If this is new, this might be a little, you might have to rock yourself. That's okay. Did you see Neo when he looked around? He wasn't looking going, oh yeah, woo, I did it. No, he was freak shitless. And he was looking at himself. He didn't have any tools. We're going to do better for you, loved ones. They're doing better for us this time. So at least you wake up and all of a sudden, oh, I have a chest plate over there. There's a super cool, super strong looking lightsaber. Wow, there's a crown and there's some boots. Oh my goodness, and then they have like extra lives and supercharges. So you're actually able to put that on before you do your flush, unlike Neo. You have an advantage now, loved ones. And they showed me an example for those who have deep religious programming, and I get it. We'll be touching on that shortly. Spirit gave me an example today. And he said, do you remember the first time when you saw a picture of all those microscopic bugs crawling on your skin right now? Do you remember that? Almost everyone remembers. We're like, that's disgusting. That's gross. And then to find out you have billions of them on you. You can scrub, you can wash, you can have as many baths as you want. The reality is they're not going anywhere. Just like your implants. This is your programming. This is now about learning to get over it and deal with it. And they've come to help us with that. And we have some wise, divine, gifted galactics that are stepping forward at this time. And they're bringing in meditations and wisdom that's going to help us with the needed upgrades and the downloads that we need to happen. They're the most talented loved ones, the most talented cosmic healers you can find. And they're stepping forward to assist you in your breathing meditations, to perform energetic surgeries within you, to help make your ascension easier and less vibrationally irritating, they said. So here's the thing. Do you need this? Technically, no. Do you want it? Because you can do this the hard way, okay? Which is, okay, this is the path we took. It's like really rough. Look out for this corner. Or we can show you the easier way. The way we wish we knew. And we have some spiritual procedure meditations coming down the pipeline. Advanced meditations that have to happen to get you vibrationally and energetically ready for the next step of your ascension. And psychic breathing is a spiritual must. It is a basic tool that has to be mastered for you to be able to take this next step. And so here's the thing. We're actually going to get some breathing courses now. So we talk about going back to the ancient way of breathing. Everything is about new age. New age is programming, loved ones. This is about going back to the old ways that they have tried to just... And like I said, this course was actually channeled in over 2 years ago, and they took me to the Hindu Yogi Science of Breath. It's a PDF that you can download. It is amazing, loved ones. You can feel that it's ancient and has incredible wisdom within it. And one of the first lessons that they teach in the book is that you need to breathe through your nose. Overcome the practice of mouth breathing. And here's an easy way to remember it. The mouth is for eating and talking. The nose is for breathing. Very simple. And so that's why we're going to show you a slide here. This is, and just so you know, we are creating an actual document that you can download so that you know exactly what spiritual tool you have in your toolbox. And then first one, the number one tool that you go to in your toolbox, loved ones, is breathing. It is a superpower once you master it. And set intentions, and we've laid them out here for you. Number one, to become present. That's why we encourage breathing, is because breathing makes you become present. It slows you down. And as you slow down, so does your breath. Number two, to breathe less, a little quieter, and in smoother, rhythmic flows. And then number 3, to always breathe through your nose. In fact, most ancient exercises, they're all done through your nose. It's very rarely done through your mouth. And yet notice all of the new teachings right now are all through your mouth, including the first one we released. Why? Because it just helps you adjust to this one. We have loved ones go, yeah, but I'm always stuffed up. Weird. Keep doing this. Clean it out. It's a congested, energetic area. And so the ancient way of breathing, loved ones, requires you to breathe into your abdomen. It's known as belly breathing. And by belly breathing, you learn to mindfully isolate your breath. And here's the thing about this breath you're about to learn, which is the complete breath. It is a breath that uses the least amount of energy, but exerts the greatest amount of gain. That sounds very natural. But here's the thing, nostril breathing, loved ones, and learning to breathe into your belly. It has to be mastered before you go into these breathing techniques. And that's why we're going to be taking you through a meditation later so that you can learn how to practice this. You don't have to be perfect at it. You have to realize there's going to be some uncomfortableness with it because you're exercising muscles you never have before. But before we get into it, Spirit was circling the word psychic over and over and over with me. And I didn't even want to use the word. I wanted to use the word mindful. And they went, mm-mm. I went, okay, well, this is going to ruffle some feathers. And they went, exactly. The word psychic has been indoctrinated, has been programmed that it's bad, it's evil, it's Satan. I've shared, I grew up for 21 years as a Jehovah's Witness. Psychic, the word was forbidden in the home. These were teachings and belief systems of what the religion called apostates. Look that word up. I remember going to assemblies in Vancouver, and there would be people walking with picket signs, with Bibles in their hands, trying to ask some of us to please listen. Oh, I know your belief system, but hear this. And I remember specifically, we had to walk by some of them to get into the assembly hall, the big convention center in Vancouver. And my parents quickly grabbed me and scurried me away. Don't even look at them, they said. And this is how psychics are looked at. These are the works of the devil. I get it. I get it. Whereas I have some people that are excited about psychics saying, oh, I love it. But so you can see how some people have cords to the word and some people don't. So there's a deprogramming and a defragging that has to happen. We can't take you to a psychic meditation if you have blocks around it. So we're going to make you sit in this a little bit. We talk about crayoning equity. Well, we're going to crayon psychic right now. And you're going to be blown away by what it actually means. And so we're going to share a slide with you. If you go and look up the word psychic in the Oxford Dictionary, it will say relating to or denoting faculties or phenomena that are apparently inexplicable by natural laws, especially involving telepathy or clairvoyance, i.e., psychic powers. All right, let's break this down a little. Relating to or denoting, it says faculties. Spirit said, go look up faculties. Faculties means an inherent mental or physical power. All right. Psychic, relating to or denoting faculties or phenomenon. They said, look up phenomenon. Phenomenon, meaning a fact or situation that is observed to exist or happen. It just can't be explained yet. Can you think of a few times in history where things couldn't be explained? It says, relating to or denoting faculties or phenomena that are apparently inexplicable by natural laws. They said, define natural laws. You ready for this one? Hang on, loved ones. You're going to feel it. Look at them rocking. I'm rocking for you. Natural laws being defined as a body of unchanging moral principles regarded as a basis for all human conduct. Humans conducting themselves. Fictions, dead things, monsters. Here's the thing, loved ones. Natural laws, we aren't operating under God's laws or natural laws. We're under Satan's. We're under Caesar's. And then it says, especially involving telepathy or clairvoyance. Clairvoyance, meaning the supposed faculty of perceiving things or events in the future that are beyond normal sensory. Psychic powers, meaning the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality, which means an inherent mental or physical power. So let's break that down. Oxford defines psychic as relating to or denoting faculties or phenomena by natural laws, especially involving telepathy or clairvoyance or psychic powers. Well, here's the translation now that we've looked up the words. Psychic is the ability to have extraordinary, unexplained mental and physical powers outside of the normal way of things that we know to exist or happen. In other words, outside of Caesar's, outside of Satan's, or outside of the Matrix's world. Outside of their natural, normal way of things. Psychic also means a remarkable person, thing, or event that is apparently inexplicable. Inexplicable meaning unable to be explained or accounted for, but does exist. It means it can happen. We just don't have the words for it yet. So, new translation of that. A remarkable person, thing, or event that can't be explained when it comes to extraordinary mental and physical facts or situations we know to exist. All right. We have to adjust to that now, loved ones. I know psychic has a negative energy behind it. They wanted it to be that way. We need to reprogram ourselves. And exactly like Carol's saying, a remarkable person. If a person's remarkable with Satan within Satan's world, well done. Imagine a remarkable person outside of his world. Yeah, that would be considered superpowers, wouldn't it, loved ones? We could see why that would be a threat to the Matrix. Why they'd want to kill us off back in the past. Why it's such a secret. Shh. That's why they don't want you to know this knowledge. Because once you develop superpowers, or extraordinary abilities outside the normal way of things. These extraordinary abilities belong to heroes, chosen ones, special ones, unicorns. And when I was talking to Darren about this, he now gave his input saying, here's the thing, loved ones, you can't be a psychic and a public citizen at the same time. I know. He said it's why Superman had his costume, his superpower psychic side versus his normal public, no rights, no powers side. And to become a superhero, to unleash and release his superpowers, he had to leave his fake disguise and public image. Well, here's the thing, loved ones, before we can do that, we need to fix, we need to redress, we need to abandon a few things before we can start unleashing our superpowers. We have to know what we're capable of. But before we can do that, we have to clean up. So notice how you energetically felt about the word psychic. Did you have some energies come up? You might have to go back and clear some energy, some cords, some programming, spells, religious beliefs. They actually showed you more than likely, if you had a very strong religious upbringing as a child, you'll probably have to go back and have a meeting with your little you, explain a few things to him or her. Once you get it, don't go back to him or her to explain that to you. That's your job. And so now that we've wrapped our heads around what a psychic is, let's move you now into the next phase of this, which is the psychic rhythmic breathing. Okay, divergence, what's that mean? All right, feel this, loved ones. Psychic rhythmic breathing is a mindful, enlightened, soulful way to use presence in combination with your intentions or your will to carry out a desired thought, wish, or healing. That sounds all right. Well, what's rhythmic breathing? This is what you can learn today. It's the inhaling and the exhaling of equal amounts of air and time. Holding the breath for half the time of the inhale and the exhale. Explain. All right. You breathe in for a count of 6. You hold 3 at the top. You exhale for a count of 6. You hold 3 at the bottom. It's a 9 breath count. Either way. We're going to combine this so that you can learn the combined and the complete breath. And like I said, they were adamant about doing a 9 count. Lots of new age healings coming in. They have different count. Oh, I do this count. They said loved ones, and they clean slate. If you want better, you got to just trust that you're getting information that you need. And when we have Galactic stepping forward going, do this breath, they made me do it so I could have things removed from my body that I needed to have removed. Trust them. Well, you're going to rely on your 3D dirty program because you know better. Oh, this one just feels better. Really? Have fun with that. It's probably not going to work so good though. Especially when you're told better. And here's the thing, the complete breath is a full and maximized breath that engages all of your respiratory muscles. Everything works in balance with the least amount of energy, with the greatest amount of output. Perfect. And it is a counting meditation. So loved ones, don't get too caught up in the counting, although it's important that you do the numbers at first. Don't dismiss them where I'm just going to roughly time it. Do the count, because after you do this for a little while, and it does take a couple weeks, my experience, maybe you'll do it faster. I hope you do. But after a couple weeks, you don't have to count anymore. Your mind grasps the idea of time and rhythm. And it'll be able to do it for you rhythmically and automatically. Okay, so what we're going to teach you now is about how to set intentions for this breath. We are big on intentions. Anytime we do a meditation, the first thing you do is you start with your breath. Next thing you do is you set your intentions. We have done a printout for you. We talk about language. Now you're going to have language. You don't have to use these words, but you're going to notice what a high vibration they are. And our loved ones who are on our Minding Your Words channel on Telegram, who are learning this new vocabulary, you're coming in already with programmed intention. Perfect. You can put these right into this before your breathing meditations. And if you don't have that access, maybe we provide it for you. So here's one of them. I now ask that Father, now you're going to notice there's a couple different ways of setting these intentions. Spirit said, find the source that resonates with you. Find the word where you feel it. You get warm and fuzzies all over. So when I read all these words, you don't have to say all of them. You can if you want to, or just choose the ones that you like, or choose the one that resonates with you. But here's an example. I now ask that Father, the divine force, Holy Spirit, our royal galactic family, and all helpers and healers of the light, to please step forward at this time. Create a safe and peaceful space for me to master these spiritual breaths, so I may learn to trust and practice them as spiritual tools and superpowers that they are, always being aligned for my greatest and highest timeline. And so it is. Here's another one. This is a bit more advanced. So when you start going into your surgeries, when you start going into your healing meditations, I now ask that the divine force, here's new language again, the universe, Holy Spirit, the galactic family, all of the helpers and healers of the light, to please step forward, allowing my rhythmic breaths to be used for any healings and surgeries that my body may require at this time. This way of being to always be aligned with my best and highest good, or something better. And so it is. So we'll provide this for you. So again, you can print this off. You can find your own combination of words. Just make sure they're highly aligned. Make sure they're very positive. And we're going to let you in on a secret. A secret to psychic breathing superpowers. That's not so shh. You're going to learn it, and I hope you scream it. Here's how you access psychic breathing superpowers. Number 1, become mindfully present. Number 2, set clear intentions. And number 3, do your rhythmic breathing. It's that simple. So let's define psychic breathing superpowers. Loved ones. Your psychic breathing superpowers is your ability to have extraordinary, unexplained mental and physical powers outside of the normal way of things by absorbing incredible amounts of prana life force into your body to use to heal it. That sounds lovely. And here's the thing. When we start having men and women start tapping into these superpowers, start doing this work, they're going to have extraordinary abilities. And when you have extraordinary abilities, you get extraordinary results. And when we have enough brave men and women focusing on their own extraordinary psychic abilities and superpowers, and on their own healing, Spirit says, heal in your own lane, loved ones. It stimulates extraordinary events, results, healing, and in totally different levels, past, present, future, all dimensions. And then we can direct that to certain organs using color. Color is a big one. We're going to teach you this, depending on what part of your body chakra needs to be infused with that light. So with that, let's move in now to the Yogi Complete Breath. Now, we're going to take a break in a moment, but I want to just go through just a few things. Don't let the yogi throw you. They're saying, oh, this is yogi bullshit. The yogis were kind of very smart. They knew a lot of things from ancient times. How about you just open your mind a little bit? So they had a complete breath that combined all the different forms of breathing. So anyone who's taken breathing courses, you're going to hear about high breathing, mid breathing, and low breathing. Okay, so high breathing is the elevating of the ribs from the collarbone and the shoulder. I was a high breather. Most of us are. Short, very faint breaths. Mid is in your chest. This allows the rib cage from all sides, front and back, to go. Many of us do not do mid breathing. And then there's low breathing, and this is known as abdominal or belly breathing. So this uses the middle and the lower part of your lungs. And it's going to be very important that you get acquainted with the principles of low breathing before you can move into these forms of breathing that are meant for your healing. Okay, because this complete breath, it's jacked. Like it is a breath on steroids. It is a 9-count breath that uses all parts of your lungs, every air cell, respiratory muscle, all of your respiratory system responds to this method of breathing because it's in sync, it's balanced. Everything is working properly. Right now, most of our muscles in our breathing are working way too hard. Some muscles not even working at all, though. And you're going to feel this because when I move you into the complete breath, it's going to be very important that you don't do this fast, first of all. You're going to notice how quickly you get a head rush. It's going to actually baffle you. Probably within a couple breaths, you're going to get a head rush, which will help you realize how improperly we are breathing. When you all of a sudden start getting a head rush, it's because it's a whole bunch of oxygen going to your brain, which means if you're not feeling that way and not enough oxygen is going to your brain, that's exactly how they like it. Numb and dumb. So because we're at the 1 hour mark, we always like to give your bladders a little bit of a break. So please go do so, and we'll see you in approximately 5 minutes. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so loved ones, this is going to acquaint you with something called the complete breath. I don't want you to overexert yourself. I only want you doing this breath a maximum of 5 times. We're going to be doing a meditation that fully engages this breath, which means we're going to be using a lot of muscles you haven't used before. So this is just so that you get used to mostly the count of the breath. Okay, so this complete breath we're about to teach you, it's going to use, again, all aspects of your diaphragm. And it's first of all going to develop presence. And then we're going to be mindfully pushing breath into the lower parts of your lungs, belly breathing. And we're going to be manipulating your breath. Judy, I don't like that word. Well, let's look up the definition of manipulate. Manipulate from the Oxford Dictionary, meaning to handle in a skillful manner. Okay. See, let's now reprogram ourselves. So we're going to be pushing our breath into the lower parts of our lungs to manipulate, i.e., handle our breath in a skillful manner. All right, here we go. So what we encourage is to find a comfortable position, preferably seated. When you're doing breathing, working meditations, as I call them, this is not a meditation where you fall asleep, where it's designed to relax you. No. When I say working meditation, it's for purpose, it's for design, it's to help you in some way. And so having yourself upright, it's going to allow the energy to flow easily. Make sure you roll your shoulders back. Many of us have habits of hunching only because we're trying to protect ourselves. So open up, trusting. Okay, shoulders back, tall head, and spine elongated, allowing your body to have the freedom to move in all directions. So again, this is not about necessarily staying still. If you're doing this breathing and you need to move back and forth, or you need to do a figure eight or what have you, allow your body to move. They're all expressions to get energy out. Then you take a few minutes to simply observe your breath as it is. Okay, so when you first go into it, you're going to create presence, and then you observe your breath without trying to control it. And then you're going to set your intentions. And even if you don't have intentions, just set intentions that this breath, this healing session, that it goes easily and effortlessly. Okay. Now, place your right hand, loved ones, on your belly. Then the left one on your chest, right in your heart chakra. Okay. Right here. And right here. Okay. So now that you're in that position, you're going to start to begin breathing rhythmically. And this is how you do it. You're going to breathe in always through your nose. You're going to inhale for a count of 6. We're going to hold for 3 at the top. And then we're going to exhale for 6, holding 3 at the bottom, and then repeat. So I'm going to take you through this. Okay. Left hand on your chest, right hand on your belly. Now, when we all breathe together, there's power in that. Okay, so try and keep up with the numbers. Again, as you create more space in your chest, you'll be able to pull in more air. So just try to space it out so you pull in a full breath within that 6 count, fully, as much as you can within 6. And then I'm going to ask you to hold it for 3, and then you're going to exhale it. And become soft with that breath. Don't like stretch it too much. Just find a way to breathe in a 6 count, hold for 3, exhale for 6, hold for 3. All right, loved ones, here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold 2, 3, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and hold for 2, 3, and inhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and hold for 2, 3, and exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and hold for 2, 3, and inhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and hold for 2, 3, and exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and hold for 2, 3, and inhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and hold for 2, 3, and exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's it, loved ones. You allow the abdomen to be soft and relaxed. You can start to draw in deeper breaths into your body, but still keep the same number of count. 6 in, hold for 3, exhale, hold for 3. 9 count. They are adamant on that. And the right hand, okay, so remember, left's on your chest, right's on your belly. The right hand will rise and fall with your breath. That's where you want it, not this one. Aim to keep the left hand still. The chest and the rib cage do not rise, loved ones. Your focus is to bring it now into the bottom part of your abdomen. This remains mostly neutral. And as you begin this practice, don't think too much about your diaphragm. You don't have to force anything. Just keep pushing the air into the lower part rather than the upper. You don't want this going up. Push it lower. And make sure you don't overdo it right now. Just a few breaths, please. You're using new muscles. You're going to feel it. And here's the benefit of mastering this complete breath. You're going to notice as you do that, you're using muscles you probably haven't used before. You're like, I didn't even know. When I first did it, I didn't even know I could breathe down there. But look at my belly. It's like this little pot belly. And that's what you want. You want that to blow up. And my ribs, they popped at first. It was uncomfortable. I had cramping. It just let me know how I was a very faint breather, though. I had to have surgeries from healers where they were taking swords out of me. For most of my life, I couldn't breathe until I went to an actual course that taught me my spiritual powers. Very much like this one. And I had a healer step forward and she went, "Oh my goodness, sit down. I'm going to take this out of you." And she was holding me at first on either side of my diaphragm. And after this surgery had been completed, my eyes were still shut. And I went, "Okay, I think I'm good now." And she goes, "Jody, open your eyes." And she was standing way over there and I could still feel hands on me. And once that was out, I could breathe finally. And that's what this is about. We have to teach you breaths, loved ones, so that we can take you into your next level, so that when you're working with these omnipotent beings, these intricate cosmic surgeons, that you can work with them. You can use your body in conjunction with, in sync with what they're trying to do, so that you're working together. And I remember when I talk about that surgery, he started telling me, do your complete breath. And as I did, remember, it came out. I was like, and it was because I knew how to do that breath, I could assist him. And this is why they want you to know this. You have to learn this, loved ones. Your breath is your birthright. A birthright they can't take away. They can manipulate it, though. They have. And that's why they're bringing this knowledge back. And so here's some tips and tricks. We love tips and tricks. The best way to practice this breath is in front of a mirror. Watch your stomach. Watch where the breath comes in. We get a lot of questions. What do I do with my mouth? So cute. Keep your lips closed. Your jaw relaxed. There should be a gap between your upper and lower teeth. Don't clench. And the tip of your tongue should be pressed up gently against the back of your upper teeth. Why do we promote this? So you will stop salivating. You don't want to be drooling while you're meditating. Now, on a side note, colds can often be prevented by practicing a little vigorous, complete breathing whenever you feel you're coming down with something. So next time you're feeling chilled, start to breathe vigorously, this complete breath, seeing the white light, the prana coming in, grabbing on to things that are dark, negative, and releasing them through your breath. Practice these 3 breaths we're about to teach you in this handout. You'll be like, sick, what? It won't happen anymore. It's not supposed to. Yes, there's purges. I get that. And that's why we're going to teach you something now called a rhythmic and cleansing breathing technique. So this is a handout. Kim, I'm going to get you to put that up real quickly just so you loved ones know what to expect and what you're able to print out. So it's, first of all, it's going to be a nice refresher on what the yogi complete breath is. So that whole 9 count breath that we've been speaking about. Then it's going to take you through 3 different forms of breath work. The first one being something called the prana, white light, or life force distributing. Now, I know that's a bit of a mouthful, but this exercise has been found to be very helpful when it comes to strengthening your nervous system. So for loved ones that have had things put in their body and don't have access to med beds yet, this one's for you. Where you can bring in the prana, universal light, and you can distribute it all over your body. You can distribute white light, life force, to remove things in your body that don't belong there anymore. Then you have a meditation for inhibiting pain. They actually say that this breath, not to do over 7 breaths of it. It's too much for your bodies. In fact, they actually say that many pains can be relieved before 7 breaths are even finished. This is the breathing meditation I used to do with my team when I had my skin condition. It was the only time I got some peace. The 7 breath count works. Take it to 9 and look out. And so I want to just take you through that, just so you can kind of see how that works. Kim's going to scroll up for you. So these are the recommendations for this. Now, again, come in with a connected source with a clean cup. Make sure you're full before you do this. And then lie on the floor or the bed. Again, you can lie down if you wish to do this, and lightly rest your hands over your solar plex, just above your belly button. Okay, so just above your belly button and below your heart chakra. And then start your rhythmic breathing. And then after that, smooth and fluidic, then you hold the thought of inhaling prana, beautiful universal life force, healing energy, the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it. And as you breathe that in, then you exhale, sending the prana to certain parts of your body that needs your attention and love, willing that it heal and repair these nerves, the circulation, this pain, whatever it be. And then visualize inhaling even more prana and sending it with purpose now to drive out the painful condition. Exhaling, holding the thought of driving out the pain. You can alternate the 2 mental commands. The exhale stimulating the part of the next driving out the pain. So you'll be able to read these different meditations over loved ones, seeing what you need. The next one is for self-healing. So if you're like, okay, I have a condition. Nonetheless, though, It is a space that needs my love and attention. That's better. So I'm going to do a meditation now for self-healing. And I'm going to give myself intentions, and I'm going to engage myself with high vibrational programming. So come in with that programming. Read the meditations. See the language that we are trying to teach you. Take it and make it your own so that it vibrates and resonates with you, and it'll change over time. And so with that, we are now going to take you into a psychic breathing healing meditation. This meditation just came through, although I did channel this meditation about 1.5 years ago, but it got upgraded significantly just for you. And here's the thing, this is a working meditation, loved ones. I've said this before. So listen as you're listening to it. It's 21 minutes and 21 seconds long by design. And so when I talk about moving and stretching within the meditation, please do it. If you sit there like a zombie, energy can't move through you then. Don't be a starfish. No one likes a starfish of any kind. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. So move. We talk about movements of ear to ear, moving your head from side to side. If you got to do movements, rolling your shoulders, do it. Please show up. We have a whole bunch of people that want better. Well, now you have the tools. We're giving them to try it. Just try it. See how you feel. All right. So we're going to give you just a few minutes. Again, if you're with a partner beside you, make sure you can't touch. No offense, but you want your own energy. Sometimes Darren, I'm like, honey, you have to move away. He's like, what? I'm like, I have no problem with that. I need to be in my space, my bubble. Out you go. No offense. So create your space. It's 21 minutes. I know. Yes, you can stand. Absolutely. You want to do that? But they're saying you will get more, Carol, if you sit. But sit in a chair that supports your back. It's 21 minutes. So you don't, if you want some kind of support, especially when you're breathing and you're working. Okay. All right. So here we go. We're going to put the meditation on for you. So we're just going to give you another minute so you can get some oils or get comfy, get a heating blanket, get support for your back. And keep in mind that as soon as you come out of this, you will be documenting it. It's like a dream, loved ones. And this is about putting your ascension on the record. You have no idea how much this is going to mean as far as the history of our species, what you're doing right now. How many will look back on the few that actually got it? And what were they thinking at that time? They're going to want to read your notes. So please do it. All right, here we go, loved ones. Enjoy. Hello, loved ones, and welcome to your psychic breathing healing meditation. Let's begin by closing your eyes and making yourself comfortable. Place your feet on Mother's belly if possible to encourage presence and the feeling of being grounded. You can place your hands somewhere specific on your body, such as your stomach or your heart. You can choose to face them upwards towards heaven, or you can put them in prayer position in the middle of your chest, whatever feels more comfortable. Please make sure, though, you're in a straight and an upright position while either sitting or lying down, as this will allow the flow of energy to be free to move about and through your body. begin to open this energy center like a lotus flower, petal by petal, and watch with your spiritual eyes as your beautiful light shoots into heaven and is quickly met with spirits. Watch as this most tender reunion takes place. Your energy is happy to be together again, with the feeling of being home running through your being now. Take a moment to set intentions, to channel and to draw this connection, this light, into your crown and down through your entire body. Doing this until you see nothing but white light entering your crown and then white light exiting your hands and your feet. Please wait for this moment and don't rush it. Stay in this flow, in this intention, until you see white light coming in and white light coming out. You will have a few moments to do this, loved ones. And now that Spirit has cleansed and charged you, and you feel this flow of love and light rushing through your body, direct it now to the center of Mother's belly. This will not only charge Mother Gaia, it will ground you for your healing. Grounding being a very important part of the healing and connection process, not to mention a perfect exchange between you and her. And so from this place, we will now set another intention for this meditation by saying the following prayer. I now ask that Father, the Divine Force, the Holy Spirit, our Royal Galactic Family, and all of the helpers and healers of the light, to please step forward at this time. To please create a safe and a peaceful space for me to acquire these new breathing skills, so I may easily and effortlessly learn to trust and to practice them. A skill of developing my wings, this always being in alignment with my greatest and highest timeline for something better. And so it is. And now allow any and all angelic and galactic beings that can help and assist in your meditation to now step forward at this time. Your spiritual eyes witnessing these magnificent beings becoming present. The angels now wrapping their beautiful wings around you, giving you again that feeling of being home. These powerful beings circle around you now, their energies and wings expanding and connecting between all of them, creating an invisible and protective shield to keep you safe and protected at all times. And now with your connection and your protection in place, with a relaxed body, please listen and then follow along as you learn and practice this psychic healing breath. Begin taking a long, deep breath in through your nostrils, allowing the lower abdomen to expand first, then your rib cage, and finally your upper chest with air. Then, when you exhale fully, be sure to tighten the lower abdomen just a tad at the bottom of the breath to encourage the total release of air. Allow the breath to flow in slowly so you do not get lightheaded or experience any discomfort. Remember, you are retraining yourself to mindfully orchestrate how your body absorbs a psychic breath, a mindful breath. So take it slow and do it methodically. When your breath is approaching the upper chest, remember to relax your shoulders back and down to allow the lungs to completely expand and stretch. Do not hold your breath at the top of the inhalation, nor at the bottom. Just allow the methodic fluidity of your breath to gently fall into its natural rhythm, allowing your body to expand and move as it wishes as you learn how to breathe all over again. Take another slow and deep breath in through your nose, directing this breath to go to your lower abdomen to receive the air first. Then move the air into your rib cage and finally your upper chest. At the top of the breath, roll your shoulders back, loved ones, encouraging the upper lungs to relax and expand. Then fully exhale through your nose, tightening the lower abdomen just a little at the bottom to encourage its release of air. Do not hold your breath. Rather, make your breath uninterrupted. Make it full, but do it slowly. Focus on the inhalation through your nose, your lower abdomen rising first, then relaxing and pushing this air out fully through your nostrils with every exhalation. Stay present with your breaths. Become aware when one breath ends and a new one begins. Your belly blowing up and deflating like a balloon 360 degrees around, in and out, over and over. You're just floating and rising in perfect unison. Take your time with this again, loved ones. There may be some new muscles that you feel in your chest, or like parts of your lungs are receiving air in a completely new and different way. If you feel some discomfort, understand it's just temporary. Your body is just adjusting and adapting to this new movement. Some muscles being activated for the first time. As you take these intentional and mindful breaths, you're also encouraged to repeat this exercise several times whenever you think about it during the day. This will remind and help you to become more present with your breathing and to release any pent up and unwanted energy. While doing this present breathing, with your mindful eyes, do a quick body scan. Do you have a headache or any pressure spots around your neck or your head? If so, imagine inhaling through your nose a beautiful universal crystalline light, prana, life force, and then send it to that part of you that is hurting or in pain. While you breathe in this healing light, you can even visualize inhaling rainbows or colors associated with a specific chakra or condition. Then, when you exhale through your nose, envision anything dark, negative, or dirty, anything heavy being wrapped up in this crystalline light, and then quickly whisked away in your breath. This is how you get rid of energy that is not yours. How you calm your soul, your emotions, your feelings, so you can understand and heal them easier. And so over and over, loved ones, one breath at a time, psychically asking that this pain and energy be easily and effortlessly released with every exhale that you make. Continue to do this intentionally directing this universal breath to release, to charge, and to heal these parts of you hurting, that are in discomfort and pain. Imagine this pure crystalline light flowing into you with every breath. This highly charged light embodying and awakening your body right down to your very DNA. Remember to keep doing your full and complete breath. When you draw your breath in, allow the lower abdomen to expand first, then your rib cage, and then finish by filling up your upper chest with this crystalline air. Continue to relax your shoulders back and to allow your lungs to completely expand and to fill themselves. And now let's bring your attention to your jaw now, asking it to soften and relax, that any tension be dissolved with these highly charged breaths. Move your spiritual eyes to your shoulders now. Are they hunched or are they tight? Does your back or your neck hurt? Bring your being to the place that it's uncomfortable, where you have pain. Begin to roll your shoulders back now, loved ones. Begin to roll them back in a few slow, exaggerated circles. Continue to be mindful of your breaths as you do this. And now again, but in the opposite direction, feeling all of these muscles beginning to release and unwind as you take full and complete breaths through your nose, as this healing air moves around as you do. And now take your neck and slowly move your chin to one shoulder. You may breathe in and out a few times if you wish, or you can choose to go back and forth, inhaling and exhaling, allowing the stress that's pent up, the energy that's there, to flow now, to unwind with each of your breaths. Now take a deep breath in and then slowly turn your head again, but bring your chin to your right shoulder and exhale. Then again, deep breath in and out, moving your chin to the opposite shoulder, exhaling once you are there. Do this a couple times, being sure not to overextend this stretch, but rather being gentle and souling as you move these breaths from one shoulder to another. And now move your ears from one shoulder to the next, doing this slowly and exhaling at the end of each of the movements. Softly stretching, mindfully and deliberately breathing this beautiful healing crystalline light to any areas that are tense, sore, or are needing your love and attention right now. Continue with this mental scan, breathing and releasing any area of tension in your body, focusing now on your arms and your torso and your legs. Stretching and psychically breathing is highly encouraged during this time, keeping in mind the most common places that you're holding tension. These usually being in the shoulders, the jaw, the hands, the abdomen, and the feet. So pay close attention to these areas and keep breathing and moving your body as it desires and needs to, as this energy makes its way through your body, unwinding, defragging, deprogramming you. Breathe in this positive energy, exhaling and releasing any anger, worry, and doubt. Do it with determination and intent. And as you stay present and breathe, you see and feel that you're becoming more and more sync with your body, with your mind, with your spirit. You are so connected to yourself and these galactic and angelic beings. You can even ask one to step forward, or several if you wish, to give you some specialized healing now at this time. These angelic and galactic beings, they will move to your areas of pain or discomfort. And these cosmic healers will gladly work on your body, assisting you with any energies that are hindering your ascension. Some may lay their hands on specific parts of your body, this giving you insight and knowings as to areas you may be holding unhealed energy, parts of you that now need your attention and love. Remember, pain is largely emotional, and you attract pain to areas where you're holding energy that needs to be felt, released, and then healed. Ignored and unprocessed trauma and life experiences results in our bodies holding heavy and toxic energy, loved ones. And so use this time to work with these angelic and galactic beings, this royal family, so you may become aware of your energetic hotspots and where you're holding energy or perhaps ignoring. Notice how these conscious breaths are offering you a few precious moments right now to rejuvenate and relax, which will give you a more optimistic outlook on your environment and yourself. Psychic breathing brings your awareness into the present moment, the here, the now, not the past or the future. And this psychic present breathing will help you avoid being depressed or angry about the past, or worried and anxious about the future. Very good. Excellent job, loved ones. Nice big breath in through your belly. Your belly rises. Deep breath out through your nose. Your belly falls. You are at peace. You are relaxed and completely focused in this present moment. And now that you're in this space, this feeling, this knowing, really present, may the universe give you a present, a message, that you are going to find that you have all that you need, loved ones, that you are always safe, you are always protected, and you are always supported at all times. Feel this message, this energy surrounding you with these galactic beings as they infuse your faith and your trust in this knowing. This present healing offers you a few moments to turn upward and inward so you can listen better to your intuition, your universal nudges, and prepare your body for its upcoming upgrades and downloads. Take a moment now to thank your galactic and angelic family that has stepped forward for you today to help with these healings, watching as each and every one of them sends their love and support to you for all of your good works. Good. Take one more deep breath in, loved ones, and out through your nose. And you're slowly going to start wiggling your hands and your feet. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back. Please, right now, loved ones, in the chat, put it on the record. We're going to give you 5 minutes for your 5D experience. Please take a moment to find the words they're saying. Find the words to put your experience on the record. We need it. The ones behind you need it. So please, take a moment now, please. Okay, loved ones. So that gives me a little bit of the feels for the group. Do you notice you all had some tension? Oh, right here. We watched you. Why do you think we made you do so many neck exercises, head exercises? Why? Because we need to get energy moving through your body from here to here, not from here. From here, bring that energy, that higher frequency in, and then disperse it mindfully, psychically, with extraordinary abilities. Extraordinary mental and physical abilities. with the intentions of extraordinary results. There's a movement, and Darren and I were actually talking about this as the meditation was going on. And he sits here beside me, and he was talking about the movement of energy that needs to come through your body.
When we mix that intent with a mechanical movement, we're actually dislodging. We're actually breaking up. We're kind of picking apart some of these layers. That fluidic movement with that intent gets a certain penetration with the energy. It gets it deeper than we've ever had it before, because now you're moving, you're pushing it in with your body. You're pushing it in with your mind. You're pushing it in with source. And when you push something in hard enough, what's going to come out the other side? Sludge. You mix all this together, and it's going to put you in an environment where you're very, very receptible to these energies. If you were to sit there stone cold, frozen, you will not have the same experience. This is a basic form of mindful dancing. This is where a lot of these soulful movements really start to get their root, or where they take their foundations. That's why you'll see a lot of tribal historic cultures when they're in their gatherings, in their groupings, and they're having these festivals and these celebrations. There's a very, if you consider the drums, the tones, the beats.
Robin will love this one.
The movements. It's the movements is what I'm trying to focus on. We're literally getting things broken up. It's like we're removing scar tissue, emotional scar tissue.
Emotional scar tissue. Emotional 3D tissue. I like that. No, they want to hear from you. Keep going. Sorry, I like that one though.
But okay, so
you talked about that, like the 3D scar tissue. I haven't touched on that yet. What do you mean by that?
Okay, well, when you get a cut and your arm's bleeding, and if you're the type of individual that needs to pick the scab to see what's going on under there, because you're curious to see what kind of emotional debris is left behind.
And you like pain.
Go ahead and consider these movements to be removing these emotional scabs, all these healings. Do you want to do a healing on top of the scar tissue, or do you want your healing to penetrate a little bit more and maybe even remove some of that scar tissue? Well, again, they have modern day laser treatments for this. They have surgical procedures to remove scar tissue. Well, you know what? How do you surgically remove the emotional ones? You got to get your mind and your body prepared on a table. Let those beings come in and do their works while you're sitting there almost in your little warm bubble of water, just floating and being amniotic. Trusting. You feel safe. That womb feeling when we were 9 months old is probably the safest environment we've ever been in. If we got to go back to the little yous, you can literally go back as far as those moments. Feel that warmth, feel that protective energy that's always there. We want to get back to that. And the only way we can get back to that is with this rhythmic movement. Carry that movement though. When these
figure eight.
Yeah, when these sessions.
Figure eight's a huge thing I do a lot, loved ones. When I'm processing downloads, I do a figure eight.
Take these loving movements and bring them outside of your meditations. Walk through the kitchen on your way to the fridge with the same loving, graceful, fluidic, I'm at peace type walk. Be there in your mind. Start incorporating all of this into everything you do. Okay, I don't want to pat myself on the back here, but I've had people stand and watch me build what I do in the movie world. I'd have groups of people just watching me do what I do. It's almost like you can close your eyes and just let your hands and your mind go, and everything just seems to seamlessly work. Why does it have that flow? Because you trust. I know I can do this something right now in front of 100 people, even though I've never done it before.
And if you don't trust your source.
So that happy dance, just a little loving wiggle that you put into everything you do moving forward. You'll know what it is because you time-stamped it here this evening. You'll know how this loving movement should feel. We shouldn't be feeling stiff. We shouldn't be feeling like we have to look over our shoulders. We shouldn't feel like crap when we wake up in the mornings. We got to start putting and assimilating all of these things together as an overall greater package, something that we never thought was possible. But you know what? If we don't start building, we'll never get there.
And start pulling from a toolbox that we're trying to give you. Not trying, we are giving you.